Welcome to this tutorial called Thinking of Joining the Pathway. This tutorial is to give you a bit more information about the pathway and to answer some of your frequently asked questions. In this tutorial we will be covering the following. What is the pathway? What to do before you join? Frequently asked questions? And how to find out more. What is the pathway? The pathway is very simply the route to chartered status. It's sometimes called P2C or getting your Part 4. The phrase Part 4 was dropped about 10 years ago, but you may still see it in adverts or hear some colleagues talking about it. Part 4 is essentially Chartered Landscape Architect. The pathway allows you to structure your development and to direct your learning. It also importantly focuses on knowledge rather than experience. Therefore, someone with 10 years experience as a landscape architect may still not have the necessary knowledge across the pathway syllabus, whereas someone a year or two after their accredited course may do. The pathway itself revolves around the syllabus, which is split into sections A, B and C. A, Professional Conduct and Practice, B covers law, the environment and planning, and C is mainly to do with contracts and their administration. The pathway itself is explained in very good detail in the Pathway Guidebook. You can download the guidebook and the syllabus from the members website, and you'll get the address at the end of this presentation. On the members website you will also find a great deal of additional resources, such as more of these videos, additional documents, sample submissions and more on the members website. The pathway process is explained over the next two screens. Initially, the candidate registers on the pathway. Before they've done this, they will have found a mentor, which we'll discuss in more detail on the next screen. The ALI then allocates a supervisor to the candidate. The supervisor has an overseeing and benchmarking role and will give quarterly feedback to both the candidate and the mentor. Once the candidate and mentor have joined, the candidate and the mentor together will start their initial review. This is essentially an audit of the experience and knowledge that the candidate has gained before joining the pathway. After this, the candidate will log their developments and their activity in the online system during the coming months. Then, along with the mentor, they'll make a quarterly submission. You can join the pathway at any point throughout the year, but the quarterly submission dates are fixed and are clearly visible in the pathway system itself and within the guidebook and on the website. Once the candidate and mentor have made a submission, the supervisor feeds back to both of them. The exams take place twice a year, in May and November, in both London and Manchester. Once the candidate is at the right level, they will be nominated by their mentor to take the exam. The exam is an oral one and lasts approximately 45 minutes. As long as the candidate passes the exam, they become chartered, known as CMLI, Chartered Member of the Landscape Institute. The pass rate is between 75 and 80% in each session. Those candidates that are not successful can retake when they're ready, and there's no limit to the number of times a candidate can retake. Before you join the pathway, you must be a Licentiate Member of the Landscape Institute. Details of the requirements for this can be found on landscapeinstitute.org. You also need to have a mentor. It's best to have found your own mentor, and this person needs to be already chartered, CMLI or equivalent if you're working outside the UK, which is to say that they can be chartered in the organisation of their own country, or hold a similar status. And they need to have approximately 2 years experience at this level. There's additional guidance on locating a mentor and who is eligible to be a mentor on the Landscape Institute Pathway website. These are some of the frequently asked questions that we hear at the Pathway team at the LI. This is not intended to be an exhaustive list, and there are a lot of additional frequently asked questions available on the Pathway website. Firstly, what does it cost? It currently costs £170 to register on the pathway to Chartership. This is in addition of your usual membership fees. Do I have to have a mentor before I start? Yes, this is an essential part of the whole pathway to Chartership, and it's very important to have the guidance and support of your mentor right from the moment you begin the pathway. In addition, the first thing you do when you join the pathway is undertake the initial review with your mentor, which captures all of your past experience. It's therefore essential to have a mentor right from the start. Will my past experience be taken into account? Yes. Yes, as just discussed, the initial review is designed to capture all of this past experience. How long will it take to get chartered? At the moment, we have had people pass the exam after just 7 months, and some that have taken more like 3 years. It depends entirely on you. What the Pathway Steering Group say is that for someone who has just graduated from an accredited course and is entering their first job, it will usually take them 2 to 3 years to become a chartered landscape architect. Do I have to be based in the UK? No, and we have had many successful candidates who have been working all over Europe and further abroad, such as in Dubai or America. However, the syllabus and the knowledge that you're expected to gain is UK based, so you will be expected to have knowledge, if not experience, of the UK planning legislation and various legal acts. As I've already mentioned, there are many more frequently asked questions on the Pathway website. To find out more and to register for the pathway itself, go to landscapeinstitute.org/members. You'll need to sign in to the members section, but once you've done so, you'll be able to easily find the Pathway to Chartership pages, of which there are many. There are many pages of FAQs, there are quick start guides, more videos, advice on finding a mentor, and a lot more. If you are not yet a member and would still like to find out more, you can go to landscapeinstitute.org. Click on About and you'll see the Education section. Within this there is a page called Education and CPD, and that will take you to the Pathway Guidebook and also the syllabus. You can also find out more by emailing pathway@landscapeinstitute.org. If you are not yet a Licentiate member, whether you're a student member or not a member at all, you'll be able to find contact details at landscapeinstitute.org for the membership department, and where necessary download a membership form. I hope you have found this presentation useful.